Namaste everyone, and thank you again for pressing play, and again all the likes, comments, new subscribes. Very exciting. I'm very excited. I'm excited. We'll leave it there. Okay, so for this week we're going to have a look at the astrology in its simplified form. Monday, Sun square Pluto. Challenge of facing and stripping away destructive behaviors and thought patterns. Time to cast the beasties out. Relative to power, control, projection, which is basically, oh, let me draw your attention to these over here so that you're not looking at me. Sexuality in order to connect with our true essence. Projection as one issue. Projection. Another issue. Sexuality in order to connect with our true essence. Not what you think you are. I am. Not what you think you are. Also on Monday, Mercury sextile Saturn. An opportunity to cultivate an organized and disciplined mind, clear communication, allowing ideas to be converted into physical form. Now remember, Monday is the moon's day, so we're going to be emotional by default. Also, there was a full moon. Oh, it's today, Sunday the 13th, we're recording this. So that over and above everything else, you see, everything works in layers. The short of it is, you have to cast the devils out of your mind, then you've got heaven. Then, but in order to do that, you have to stop thinking left-hand path. You have to stop thinking broad path. You have to start thinking narrow path, right thinking, mind of Christ. You get the devils out. As we're getting the devils out, we start to perceive our window, our perception of ourselves and the world and everything comes from, we can say, a higher perspective. Like we look, we see laterally. Some of us don't see further than our nose, but anyway, laterally. But there are other ways to perceive, like imagine if you were a bird. How amazing that you could perceive laterally, but also arboreally from above. How much more could you perceive if you had that higher view? Oh yeah, so through a process of alchemy, you can get rid of the devils, stop following the broad path, the left-hand path, which we sort of exist in, but an upside-down world, but not to worry. Then you start perceiving from what we could say the mind of Christ, or the illuminated mind. And then, if you are a very hardened seeker, and you have loved the Lord your God with all your mind, your will, your intention, your every breath, and it was the thing that you wanted more than anything else, and by grace, you can and may start to perceive the world ever so slightly, really, because it's big, from the understanding and the mind of God. And it's a process. Everything's designed to help us get there. Unless any of us can, canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades, or loosen the bands of Orion, Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season, or canst thou guard Arcturus with his sons? Knowest thou the ordinances of heaven? Canst thou set the dominion thereof in the earth? And it goes on. Unless any of us can stop these planets from moving, God's will be done. Okay. Wednesday, Mercury Day. Mercury trine Neptune, an opportunity to cultivate mindfulness and to open the logic mind up to the mysteries of God through recognizing that reality can't be bound by human logic. Saturday 19th, Mercury sextile Pluto, an opportunity to transform the rational mind through facing and letting go. Let go, let go, cast out the beasts. And letting go of old mental patterns which enable us to develop penetrating insights into ourselves and others. And don't forget Saturday's a Sabbath, yeah? Sunday, week from today, Venus sextile Saturn, an opportunity to apply discipline to our values so that we resist material temptation, one of them beastie qualities, in favor of embodying spiritual values and pursuing higher love in our interpersonal relationships. So it's going to be an exciting week. Another exciting thing is we are very swiftly approaching Scorpio season. My favorite season. Being a Scorpio, obviously. So hi to all my fellow Scorps out there. Scorpio season. If you are in the light, you're in the light. You don't need rescuing. You're not going to get lost. You don't need anything. You're in heaven. But if you're in the darkness, and that means if you still have any beasties, which we all do, because in the beginning the light was separated from the darkness. We all have that dualistic. Point being, you have to take your light and season by season by season follow that laid down pattern we understand as the life of Yeshua or the life of Christ, and follow that same pattern, and each year go into the darkness, go into hell, which is not in the ground, and at least a third of your darkness. It's pretty simple. So if you're in the light, you don't need rescuing. It means you've been into your own darkness so many times, you're quite comfortable. Okay? You see it for what it is. Year by year, you go, yeah, okay. Do you know what? If this had happened 3 years ago, I would have been off the walls, back to window. But now, you know, I see it for what it is. Okay. It's called growing up, really. So we all go. But some people have been so many times that they walk on water. Metaphorically speaking. Now some of us, Scorpio people, well, you see, we were born in the dark, as we all were, but we were born in the depths of the psyche. We are the ones that can see in the dark. So when everyone in the whole free world, because no one's stopping them planets from moving, takes what I like to call the Scorpio deep dive, The evolved Scorpio, because we're in a dualistic world, not all Scorpios are living their best life yet. It's a process. Relax. It's fine. Year by year, we work at it. You see, we can see in the dark. So we are the ones that are going, oh, bless you. As you're quivering there, reminiscing about all your traumas, we're the ones going, woohoo, there you go. Keep going. You can do it. Okay. So give us a break. So I thought we'd talk about Scorpio a little bit. Scorpio is the death and the rebirth. Scorpio is essentially a phoenix, but a Scorpio is not always a phoenix. It starts as a Scorpio. Then it transforms. And it transforms. And at its highest, I would say. So it's been through its darkness and its light and dark. They are perceiving from a place of very little duality, although it still exists. They are the phoenix energy. They are that energy that exists in the world, that is that transformative spark. But you cannot have life without death. And what is dying? Everything that's not true. Whether that's what you believe about yourself, what you believe about others, anything that's not true. You have an opportunity to look at it. And you have an opportunity to transform your pain into power. So, we'll just do the S and the O from Scorpio. S. The 19th letter of the English alphabet. 1 and 9. Lessons 1 to 9. The Alpha and the Omega. The S relates to the Hebrew letter Shin. S or Sh is the sound of fire, so it relates to fire. It is the element of fire. It is also the serpent, a serpent of wisdom. It's the 21st letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and it reflects the creative trinity. 2 plus 1 equals 3. You've got to take the 2 and make it 1, although the 2 always exist. You've got to transcend being sucked into the 2, the duality. It is the creative trinity. Shin represents the Christ principle, the I am. So essentially, during Scorpio season, you get a good, hard look at who you are. External situations are mirroring things to you. Okay, you turning the mirror around and bouncing it back. It's the Scorpio deep dive. Deep dive. The shape of sin suggests the choice of paths, and essentially, this is where it is. To choose to attain the Christ consciousness, or the illuminated spirit, or to continue in the realms of the senses. And essentially, you're deciding, are you still going to be a beastie, or are you taking that noble, heroic path of becoming that illuminated man, that illuminated woman? Because in December, when we celebrate the birth of the Christ child, 25th. 2 and 5 is 7. This is the rebirth. Who am I? I am this, I am that. By choosing the higher path, our love becomes the fire of divine love which expands our awareness. Awareness, seeing from a higher perspective, taking that path. No more left hand. No more broad path. The narrow path. Okay, so let's look at the O. I've got notes there, that's why I'm leaning forward, but they're on a board. Another thing is there's 2 O's in Scorpio, so it's double what we're about to read. Also October, so Scorpio starts soon, 20-something, on into November, which is the 11th month, so they've powerfully linked, because it's a period of time, the 10th month, the 11th month, and the 12th month. It's that accusation, your whipping, your cross, your crucifixion, your entombment, your going into hell, and your resurrection. It's a process. Now, the world seems quite content to take a man, whip him, beat him, ridicule him, accuse him falsely. And let's remember also that it wasn't the authority, well, it was a little bit, well, the overriding authority, because there was many players, but the overriding authority did give the choice to the people, to the masses, and it was the people. Yes, 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 it was a devilish plot. But the ruling overlords did give the power to the people to make the decision. Anyway, let's not go there at the moment. Yes, so the 3 months, it's a process where people choose. And then on the 25th of December, it's 2 and 5, 7, we celebrate Christmas, the birth of the Christ child, the birth of the illuminated child, or the Spirit of Christ, the spirit of illumination that can rise in you like a phoenix. Okay. O. The O corresponds to the 16th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, 1 and 6, 7, called Ayin, whose main influence is anger. So anger is going to be a big deal going forward. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. When you raise to anger, no problem. Take a moment. Go platter whip. Ayin means eye and refers to the inner spiritual eye that comprehends and interprets what we see. Essentially, are we going to go through this period and still see from that beast mentality through the eyes of materialism, or are we raising our game? Are we taking that noble path of direct spiritual lineage? There are 2 ways we see, with the physical eye and through the mind by understanding. The second way is when the light dawns on us and we say, oh, I see, your light bulb moment. This is the spiritual eye, the window of the soul. Anger is an emotion of the lower animal self. It's a beastie problem. It is a force that can be used to build or destroy. When a man learns to control his temper, he tames the animal, and his greater power unfolds. Then he is able to build his good rather than destroy his chances. The man who ruleth his temper is greater than he who taketh the city. Proverbs 16, 1 and 6. 32. 3 and 2, 5. The number of man. Head, 2 arms, 2 legs. And 5 senses. With the O, it is all or nothing. It stands for the cosmos and all within it. Isn't life fascinating? I forgot to do these. Oh. I've used these cards for so long I can... Oh, no, that's way too many. Way too many. Death, that's the Scorpio card. It just means the process that happens before rebirth. Let's not panic. One, two, three, four, five, six. Nine. Completion. Okay, movement. Obviously the planets move. Movement usually is positive. However, sometimes it's only positive in retrospect. Okay, so basically we have to expect a lot of things to change. Things are going to be changing really, really quickly. People are going to be moving in one direction and then changing tack. It's going to be quite chaotic. Okay, but everything that's happening to you right now is happening for your highest good, even if your world is shaking right now. Obviously, because it is this time, the death, all right, the letting go. You have to let it go. Everything is designed to bring you to the knowledge of the understanding of who you really are. That's it. So, it's happening. Of course, when everything's happening, you're going to be bringing out all your emotional stuff, all your emotional baggage. In the astrology, we said about the projection. All of your beasties are going to be saying, let me be seen. Another way of saying it is the light is shining into your darkness. So you're going to feel rather exposed. Okay? So, of course, projection. On a practical level, you may feel the need to declutter and just get order in your surroundings because your mind is going, it's chaotic. Okay. Now, because all of this is happening, everyone's dark stuff is coming flying out into the world. Forgiveness. Okay? Fruits of the Spirit. Turn the other cheek. Easier said than done, I know. However, we really don't forgive people for them. We forgive them for ourselves. Otherwise, each time we go into Scorpio, we're hating on everyone always, constantly. Your words are spells. You're saying, negative things about such and such a person. You're performing witchcraft. Negative words, lies about people, untruths, bearing false witness, gossip, slander. That's all witchcraft. Don't worry about these people under the trees, smelling of patchouli oil, banging their drums. No, these are peace-loving people. What about all of yous with your nasty, cutting words? Your words either give life or destroy. No more pointing the finger at other people, because there's three fingers pointing back at you, my friend. Forgiveness. Okay, the Queen, we spoke about death. We've got to let it go. The Queen. Okay, so this is feminine energy, feminine power, and partnership. So this is, there's like very strong energy trying to really bring stuff together on one level, but before you can build anything solid, you've got to destroy what's not solid. So it's the destruction, and if you can open your spiritual eye, you can see, I call it the cogs. I can see the cogs moving. You can't quite put your finger on it. Don't try to articulate it. Writing it down, no thanks. But you can just feel it, you can perceive it, you can see it all happening. Okay, it's a powerful month. It's transformation. Okay, so the Queen, so that's feminine energy, that's Magdalene energy. Do you know, I tried very hard for the first 33 years of my life to reconcile trying to be Spirit of Christ, when I suddenly realized, no. You cannot be what you are not. You were born as a woman. So that translates to the Magdalene energy, which is this Christ energy. It's the illuminated energy in a woman. So we have the Queen energy. So ladies, I suggest that you connect with your female friends and you love yourself. This is a week to love yourself. Okay, pamper yourself, do something nice. Okay, because some of these people from your past are going to come back, not just ladies, some of our past people are going to come back. Why? Because it's unfinished business. People have still got these demons in their head. So people from the past are going to come back. So ladies, especially to the ladies, boundaries, know who you are, stand in your truth, okay, and cleave to your girlfriends for your strength this week. Pray for one another. Okay, so partnerships. I love the two triangles on the top there. You can't see, I don't know. Anyway, they're balanced. So anyone that is reconnecting with people from the past, we want to make sure that we are not starting this new journey with these individuals on an unbalanced footing. We want balance. Okay, this is not just romantic, this is any relationship, also including work opportunities, business partnerships. The thing is, if you don't know who you are and you don't know your value, you're probably going to find yourself re-engaging in old patterns. We want to not do that, especially ladies. Know your worth, God. Know your worth. Okay. Perception, I think I've covered that loads. This is the month that we really get to either entrench ourselves in that lower level thinking, that beast thinking, or we can just walk on water. Walk on water. Okay, feelings and emotions. Yep. With all of this deep dive of Scorpio, it's all about the feelings and the emotions. Remember, you are not your feelings, you are not your emotions, you are just experiencing them. And restriction, one of my favorite cards. Okay, right. For some of us, our restrictions are of our own making, but for some of us, there are restrictions, and there's a reason, because it's not time to launch. Those of us that took the deep dive early, we know. We know where we're going, and we're just like, we want to get there. We want to get there. I mean, we're on the starting blocks, and we're saying, dude, why are you not shooting that gun off? You know why? What we do for others, we do for ourselves. So we have to wait. Be patient. Okay? Let's support everyone in the deep Scorpio dive. The month of powerful transformation. Thank you for watching. Father, bless all of your children. Namaste.